All right, so one of the things I thought I owed you was kind of a high-level overview of the top 10 things that I hope you learn from my real estate investing course. It's frankly a great value at $99. I put it at that price because I wanted to make sure it was accessible to everyone. I wanted to make sure, frankly, I could recoup some of the cost that goes into the equipment and software and hosting fees and all of that go about hosting one of these online courses. And then finally, um, why didn't I make it free? Well, frankly, I've had a free course now on a couple of different platforms, and people don't value free. People click on the link, they dive in, but they don't do anything. And I've known this for a long time. If I want to ensure action, the best way I can do that is to have you put a little bit of money on the line. I don't expect $100 or $99 to be that great a deal for people listening to this. It is frankly going to be less than half a month's cash flow should you take your leap and learn from this exercise. So I could certainly have charged more, but hopefully what you've learned by now, I'm not doing this for the money. What I'm doing is trying to help 1,000 people take their first or next step with real estate investing. So that's why I did this. So let's get started. But before we do that, know that hitting that subscribe button means a lot to me. Asking your friends, sharing with your network, saying, hey, this guy's got something good going on is interesting. Subscriber growth is one of those metrics and goals I have for my 2019 year. So anything you could do to help me with that, I would greatly appreciate it. The like buttons really do make a difference. I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing and trying to figure out what makes a difference and all of that. The more readily available like buttons, and actually I guess it's the more earlier they're done in the videos, the better, which is interesting, but okay. And then finally, don't forget about comments. Love your comments on any of the videos. They mean a lot to me. I read them. I'm a one-man show. But remember, I do something special on this channel, and it's called Subscriber Questions. To date, a subscriber leaves a question on any video. I see them. I usually look twice a day. I've been able to go out and create videos within, so far within 72 hours and go after them. So if you have a question, just anything in real estate, go ahead and leave it below. So let's get started. What are the 10 things you'll learn from my $99 real estate investing course? So here you go. Number one, you're going to learn how to learn a market regardless of you live there or not. This is a big deal. I speak to a lot of people in the Bay Area and other hot markets. We're all, lots of us are looking at the Midwest and the South. So how do you learn that market, right? You don't have the time to get on a plane and spend 50 weekends a year, right? Like you could if it was in your backyard. So good news. I chose to invest in a market 15 or 16 years ago that I'd never been to, didn't know a soul. I think the only time I'd ever been there was when I drove through to get to Yosemite one time. So again, I'm going to show you how I did it. How did I learn a market when I knew no one, had no special access, didn't have a system, didn't have a network? And I'm confident that you can learn from this, whether you're investing in your backyard or any other market. How to compare deals. This is something I get asked a lot. How do I compare deals? How do I compare a house with a duplex? How do I compare a fourplex with a 10-unit apartment building? Well, the good news is I have a very simple spreadsheet. It allows you to compare any investment against any other. I get asked all the time, how do you look at deals? How do you make a decision? Well, I give it to you. I give you my simple spreadsheet. It is something that has evolved over time. In the beginning, it was rather complex. It is now changed into a very simple spreadsheet that produces the end column tells me which investment's the best, and I often go that direction. Also, we talk about your team. One of the things that's going to be important for you if you follow my model of buy and hold long-term, right, decades, is who needs to be on the team, right? Who's kind of tier one, right? Got to do it right away, and who's tier two? I can add, change, grow, things of that ilk, right? Your network is tied to your net worth. So I'm going to highlight sort of critical roles, and then the other roles that you can look to just keep adding to your team as you go forward. One of the things that's going to be important, frankly, that we got wrong, and again, if you've read our book, One Rental at a Time, we talk about this a little bit. If you don't interview the team members correctly, you will ultimately end up firing them. And we went through, 5 critical roles in those first few years, and it was very hard. And hopefully, I help you avoid at least some of that pain, if not all of that pain. We're also going to ask you to take a self, assessment. Kind of inspect yourself, your team. What do you have? What do you don't have? It's going to help you highlight gaps. And this isn't going to be about, hey, look at your gaps and focus on those. No, it's going to be, hey, let's look at our gaps and hire them, right? If you're going to be a full-time employee and have a growing family responsibility and all that stuff, why don't we just realize what your gaps are and add team members to make you stronger? So that's what I did, and that's what I'm going to help you do. Again, we're going to talk about how to learn a market cycle with no special access, no system, no nothing. Again, I'm proof this works, and what I share with you is what we did, and it takes time and focus and execution, but we go through all of that in this course. And excuse me, and if you just follow that one section, this silly price at $99 is going to be well worth it, because you're going to find and understand what a deal is. So again, you're not going to have any special access. There's not going to be any upsell. This is just going to be, hey, go ahead and learn this. Again, not only you're going to learn how to generate a deal, but you're going to learn how to manipulate key variables to increase the quality of a deal, right? The simplest example is, hey, if I pay less, I will have a better deal. Well, yeah, most of the time, right? But if you have to pay less, but you put a lot more down for whatever reason, maybe it's an owner finance deal, maybe the deal's not as good. Right. So again, you're going to understand there's many key variables that in my spreadsheet that if you tweak and manipulate, it could ultimately tweak the end result. And we're going to go through those in detail. And I give you the spreadsheet that I use so you can change them and tweak them to your market. And again, you're going to learn what's important for you. Lastly, I hope you, or actually not lastly, I guess number 8, what I hope happens is you cement your buying criteria. A lot of people I talk to when they're just starting out, they're just like, give me a deal, give me a deal. Which is very risky. You're basically relying on somebody else's opinion to call a deal. So what I'm going to do is give you, with this deal spreadsheet and the variables, a way to look at yourself in the mirror in your market and go, okay, what is my buying criteria? Do I need 5, 6, 8%? What is it for me? So, you're going to hopefully at the end of this, and again, this simple text is well worth the $99 fee all by itself, because otherwise, if you don't know your buying criteria, you're stuck. So again, so much value in this $99 course that it is going to be well worth it if you just spend the time and do the work that I outline. Also, we're going to talk about what your long-term and short-term goals are. Yes, sure, maybe you want to be financially free, or you want to have 4 units for retirement, or whatever that is. That's great. We're going to talk about that stuff. But we're also going to break down some short-term goals, and we're going to break down some short-term goals in 2 different ways. One is, how do we move forward on our long-term goal? But also we're going to go, okay, who's in our network? This is going to be based on your self-assessment, and really what's going on, and how do I do it, and all those things. So again, this is important stuff, and something that I hope you take away from. And again, it's going to be extremely valuable for you. And then lastly, this is the one that I hope, this one just blows away the value in this course, and frankly is if I made it the centerpiece of this talk, would be well worth significantly more than a measly $99. But if you can take your market through your homework and your deal reviews and understand what a bad deal is, what an average deal is, what a good deal is, and most importantly what a great deal is in your market of choice, whether it's your backyard or any other market, you are going to be in the catbird seat. You are going to be making great decisions. It's going to take work. It's going to take focus, but I give you all the pieces. I give you everything that we did 15 and 16 years ago that allows us to confidently understand what a bad deal is, what an average deal is, what a good deal, and what a great deal is. So again, these are, this one bullet pays for the course all by itself. And no, there's a lot more things in this course. I've only gone through the first couple of sections. I have a whole series of bonus videos that are tremendously valuable. I didn't know where to put them, but I wanted to include them. There's over 7 hours of content here. And again, these are just 10 things that you're going to get, and all of them are worth significantly more than the measly $99. So hopefully this makes sense. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Ask questions, all that. Again, if you want to get a hold of me, there's my email, mzuber@onerental@a-time. Everything I do is one rental at a time. There's my book, One Rental at a Time. Very proud of that. If you want to learn more about me, no better place than either this YouTube channel or that book, as it gives our history, kind of an authentic review of what's possible for you. It is the crux of what I built the course around, because I get asked a lot now, great, the book gave me belief, it gave me confidence, but how do I start? I'm like, how many times do I have to hear that before I create a course? So I did. Again, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and please, please, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you either on this video or just a subscriber question. Have a great day.